do it.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's Marketing Clinic with your hosts, James McDonald and Craig Proctor.
Well, thank you very much, Andrea, and I'd like to start by welcoming our participants to our ad clinic session here today. Thanks for logging in, and for everyone who uploaded an ad, that's fantastic. We'll take a look at what you've got here. Just a little reminder, by the way, when you do upload your ads, it's really important that two things happen. Number one, that you provide us a little bit of background, how much the ad cost, where you ran it, stuff like that. Any information about the ad, your success with it, clicks if it's an online ad, stuff like that. But also, especially if it's a print ad, to be able to see what the ad looked like in context to where it ran. If it ran on a page of a newspaper, for example, it's really good to see the page because that really does dictate the visibility of the ad itself. So think about that when you're uploading your ads, and the more information you can give us, the more helpful that we're going to be in critiquing and offering suggestions. And really, that's what this is all about. There are rules to follow with the different ads that we're looking at. We kind of look at the foundational rules for each type of ad campaign. But beyond that, what we're doing is we're simply looking at your ad and we're offering things to test. Next time you might want to try this or change that. And one approach will outpull another approach, so the key is to try as many different approaches and arrive at the best result, hit the repeat button, and do that over and over again. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today. So, first of all, welcome Mr. Craig Proctor. How are you today, Craig?
Excellent, Mr. McDonald. Ready to critique ads.
Well, that's what we're here for. So you came to the right place.
Good. Well, I'll let you start with ad number one.
Okay.
Do you want to know what this is? This is a signature to an email signature.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I'd call that an ad. I don't think that's really a lead generator. However, anywhere it's branded, anything that involves you, in this case Alexandra, needs to promote your unique selling proposition. So in Andrea's case, that's the guaranteed offer program. And that you should be making a big deal about that. You're never, ever, in any medium or forum, just going to advertise your picture and your name. It's always going to be attached to a unique benefit. And in Andrea's case here, that's your guaranteed offer program. Now, I think maybe you could articulate that a little bit more here. I mean, this is on a letterhead or it's on an email signature, so the information may have to do with, a property for sale, for example. I would explain what the Guaranteed Offer Program is. In other words, you've given it a name. It's called the Guaranteed Offer Program, but I'd rather you define it as, what does it do? In other words, I'd rather it say, your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it, if that is your guarantee. Or I'll sell your home for 100% of market value, or I'll pay you the difference. Whatever your guarantee is, state what it is, not what you call it, and I think that'll have a lot more traction in getting prospects to associate that very valuable USP with Andrea. Not our Andrea.
Alexandra.
Is it Alexandra? Oh my God, yes, Alexandra. It's tiny writing on my screen here. Even though I did get a new laptop, Andrea. Remember, I was
Yes,
talking about
I'm
that,
so happy for you.
Earlier. Are you happy for me? I did. Yes. Anyway, but apparently still too small. But anyway, so that's my suggestion for Alexandra, not for Andrea. Yeah, really not a lead generator. Anyway. All right, what's next?
Well, and Alexandra did comment. She's a little confused. She says, why isn't it a lead generator? But she just replied, okay, she understands, and thank you very much. Okay, we'll go on to add.
Well, I mean, I assume you're sending it to somebody, which means you've already identified the lead. Like, think about it. If this is on your email, then you're emailing it to a person, which means you know the person. So you've generated the lead. That is the lead, the person. The purpose of lead generation is to identify somebody that you haven't identified before. And if you're emailing this to them, then I assume that means you've already identified the lead. So the lead has been generated. Now what you're trying to do is set yourself apart. So to that lead, Alexandra is making sure that they associate her with her guaranteed sale program. I'm just suggesting, instead of just titling it, describe it. That is a lot more powerful, because the word guarantee can be really considered fluff. Guaranteed. A lot of people say guaranteed. Guaranteed or what?
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
I was thinking the same thing. So many real estate agents talk about guaranteed service. I mean, what does that really mean? Well, your satisfaction guaranteed. So
guaranteed or what? Or you're dissatisfied. That's what.
Right. Right. So because Alexandra actually has a very specific guarantee, kind of cheating yourself not to actually spell that out.
Bingo.
And Alexandra has typed in that James is getting old, which I agree.
Hey, what does that mean?
It means you're losing your mind.
Oh,
All right,
I'm losing my vision. Okay.
Let's go to ad number 2.
Okay.
Okay, this is from Nazira, and Nazira has typed some information into the chat about her ad. It says, yes, this ad, just to clarify, is a proof only, and it will be in a member's phone directory for a mosque, and I cannot put my picture on it. Okay, well, Nazira, as you know, it'd be way better with your picture on it. I assume most of these people know who you are. So I guess it's like a flyer or something. Is it a flyer, an ad? Guaranteed sale program on one side and distress sale on the other. Not too bad. I would just, it's a shame you can't have your picture on there, but if you can't, you can't. Anything you want to add to that, James?
I mean, this is at very best, this is going to be a supplement to your lead generation. So, I mean, this is not exactly the foundation of where your business is going to come from something like this. So I'm sure that's reflected in what you're paying to advertise here. But I think you're doing about as best you can with what you've got to work with. But just don't tell me, yes, this is all I do to generate leads. Obviously, that would not be sufficient.
Well, I think Nazira is probably this is an experiment, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is a supplement. I had somebody this week. Maybe they're on the webinar today. They sent me an email asking what I thought of the idea of advertising on a local golf course on their scorecard, on the back of the scorecard, an ad. And it was like $750 for the year. And I told them I really can't recommend that. And I know that we say, well, test, but there are just some instances where, doing this a long time and seeing thousands of realtors from all over the country trying different things, there are just certain things where you can bet that it's not going to be effective because of the medium, because of the delivery. And so to this person that wanted to advertise on the golf scorecard or was asking about it, I just have to say, highly unlikely that you're going to generate any response from a golf scorecard. But that $760, I could tell you, would be really well used in more effective mediums, on towards your pay-per-click budget, for example, or running an editorial ad. For that kind of money, you could probably run an editorial ad 5 or 6 times. You would generate very predictable return doing something like that rather than spending that money on a golf scorecard. We just don't read those other than to post our scores when we're playing golf. So anyway, I hope that I didn't come off as discouraging, but I was absolutely discouraging, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's keep going.
And just so everybody knows, what I've pulled up right now is the off-marketproperties.ca landing page that it would take you to. Okay.
All right.
Ad number 3, I'm going to make it a little bigger.
We did look at this ad before we began, and the only thing that I could suggest is you probably want to have the domain name above the image as well as below, but other than that, that looks good to me.
Yep, absolutely. Is selling your home a project you're considering for 2016? Wondering how values are holding up. Find out what your asking price can be. Just click to get started.
So I believe this is Ariel's ad, and she actually requested to come on.
Oh, good.
Would you like to go ahead and get her on now, you guys?
Please.
Okay. Ariel, your line is open.
Hey, good morning, James, Andrea, and Craig. How are you?
Good morning.
Excellent.
Good, good. So I did some work with success websites to try to, it was going to the regular landing page. And they said, you know, you're getting a lot of traffic into the website. And I copied this ad is actually, I copied it right off where you guys had, and Rick Barsh had advertising for him in one of his pieces. And as you can see at the bottom, I have about 3,259 people reached, which about 149 clicks have resulted into the website. However, no one is actually leaving any information whatsoever for me to call back as a lead. In a sense, I do kind of see what James is always saying. You know, it's going to weed out the people who are not really interested, which is kind of nice. However, I'm in limbo. I don't know if I'm doing it right.
Yeah, if you're getting 0, then that's obviously a big problem, right? The idea is we want to capture the good ones. So obviously we have to look at the landing page, because the ad, you'd have to agree the ad is doing its job, which is it is compelling prospects to take action. If you want to know the value of your home, you're being compelled to click on the ad to take action. The problem is when they get to the website, what is happening is there's obviously too big of a jump on the website, or the information that they're seeing on the landing page is not matching the information that was offered in the ad, or the offer that was made in the ad is not being matched by the offer that they're seeing on the landing page of the website. So all of this has to be addressed through the landing page, not the ad. The ad is doing its job. It's getting hundreds of prospects to click on it. What isn't doing its job is the landing page, and you may find that a small tweak will make the difference, and all of a sudden, you know, you can generate 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 leads from it.
We just did with success websites was really quick at swapping the actual landing page that comes out generically, and it went to, now it has like a house page in the back with just one single line that says input your, which they said that it's been creating good results for them, for everybody on the program, and it's just one line where you actually, the customer actually inputs the address and takes them to a second screen where it forces them to input the rest of the information.
Yes. Is that the way you've got it set up now, or that's the way they're going to do it?
No. It's already set up. They just changed it about 2 days ago, but I just wanted to see if, you know, you guys had a better.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is that's what has to be experimented with. There are two elements to the landing page. Okay, either number one, the information that's being offered on the landing page doesn't match the offer that's being made in the ad. Okay, that will cause everybody to leave. Or number two, the information that's being asked of the prospect is too much too soon when they get to the landing page, so they're all leaving. In that circumstance, what we do is we baby step them. You ask for a little bit of information first, allow them to engage, hit submit, then it takes them to the next page that asks them further information. Now, will many of them leave? Yes, but more of them, once they're engaged in giving information, more of them will continue and see it through.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
That's why I like that two-step much better. It makes a lot more sense, especially in a circumstance like yours.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to ad number 4.
Your house sold guaranteed or we'll buy it. No gimmicks. For information on our exclusive guaranteed sale program, order a free report by visiting www.wewillbuyyourhome.ca or listen to a recorded message. Yeah, that's pretty good. You've got your 800 number. What is on the other side of this? Can we see that as well? You know that you've got a lot of space. You could actually make that guarantee even bigger. If this is direct mail, which I'm assuming that it is, it certainly looks like direct mail. You know, think of you grabbing your mail and you're just kind of looking at it as you're sorting your mail. The bigger and bolder that your home sold guarantee will buy it is, the more likely it's visible to somebody sorting their mail, looking at it, and you might want to spell it correctly. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Okay, so this postcard was submitted by Renee Pilon, and she says it's you know, a proof, but they're getting ready to print it. I think she said the deadline is today. So Renee, let's have a look at this. Spelling mistake in the headline, of course. The other thing, on your domain name, it's very difficult to read that. I would recommend that you uppercase the first letter in each word. Can everybody see what I'm talking about here? Everything's in lowercase. So I would recommend that you capitalize the W in we, the W in will, the B in buy, and especially when you have two Y's here together. Does everyone see that? That is just an accident waiting to happen, because now someone has to type in two Y's in a row. So you want the Y in your capitalized and the H in home. It makes it a lot easier for people to read and for people to type in. Okay, so make those changes, Renee, and I hope this campaign is successful for you. By the way, going back to advertising on the golf scorecards, we did get a remark from Jeff Fairchild. He said he was advertising on 4 golf course scorecards for 2 years. He never got one lead.
Well, I can only say that it's not that it couldn't work, but if it did, I would say you were rewarded for bad behavior. In other words, if it did work, you know what it might have encouraged you to do? To do it for another 4 years, and nothing would have happened. It's not that it couldn't work at all. It's that there's so many other things we could spend that money on that would be far more consistent and predictable, that it's so far down the totem pole. You better be doing 100 other things first before you'd ever resort to advertising on a golf scorecard.
Now, Craig Bush.
That is more my point.
Sorry, Craig Bush, Coach Craig Bush in Hamilton has made a remark here. Something that you and I did not catch, James, on Renee's ad. There is no, like, how do I actually call Renee if I'm ready now? Okay, so Craig Bush, he says we need to add something like, to get started right away, call Renee direct at and her direct number. So if we go back to the ad generator.
Oh, yeah. So underneath their name, they don't even have their contact information. That's true.
Right.
Like
so
they've got their identifier there, Renee and Mark, but it doesn't have their phone number on there, which is really odd. Usually you'd see that all together.
So if we go back to the ad generator, everybody, and we have a look at the template for this very campaign, this is something that I missed. James, you missed it, but Craig Bush caught it. There's really 3 calls to action on every one of our USP ads, and I'll get Andrea just to highlight them here. First of all, we have the domain. Okay, below it, we have the recorded message. That's number 2. And the third method of reaching the agents, probably the most important, is or call me direct. And Craig Bush caught that right away. He said, well, you know, what about the person that wants to call Renee right away? So here's the idea, just for those of you that are fairly new with us. The reason we don't just have our phone number on, you know, call me to list your home or call me to buy a house, is because there's lots of prospects out there that are, you know, a little further along in the process. They're not quite ready to contact a real estate agent yet. The people that are ready to act now, of course, we want to give them an opportunity to call us. But there's a whole lot more buyers and sellers out there that are interested in your offer. They'd like to get information on your guaranteed sale program, but they're not quite ready to speak to a real estate agent yet. And there's more of them, more of those kinds of not ready buyers and sellers than there are buyers and sellers that are ready to pick up the phone and call an agent. But the way we have the ad designed, we're going to hopefully get now prospects and future prospects to raise their hand. So thank you, Coach Craig Bush in Hamilton, for catching that. Okay, we've got the domain name, we've got the recorded hotline message, but we don't have a direct number for prospects who are ready right now to talk to Renee, the real estate agent. So there, I think we've actually Ellen Levy caught that as well. Suggestion, no gimmicks. Yes, I would just copy exactly what we've got on that template. Renee says, thanks a lot. Okay, let's move on to our next ad, number 5. And this is from a long-time coaching and platinum member, Harry Kimbrough. And Harry is, this looks like a display ad, I'm going to say, in a print publication. It's got a headline that says, your home sold in 77 days or I'll sell it for free. Visit Harry's Guaranteed Sale Program for info. Get free instant access to all area homes for sale. You can visit GilletteHomes.com, or for more information, it says call and enter the ID number. I would make sure it says free recorded message, just so they know, or call free recorded message 1-800 blah 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 and enter the ID number of the property you're interested in. Okay, now it's got Harry's number there. Harry, I'd take that number that's under Remax. I'd probably place that under your name. So it says Harry Kimbrough, Mr. Real Estate, and then I'd have the phone number probably right there. You could have it twice, but I like the phone number right with your name. Okay, now we've got some display ads peppered onto that landing page. And James, maybe you can explain why we do that. Why not just a bunch of pictures of houses?
Well, first of all, as we've talked about from your very introduction to the system, the problem with advertising any one property is that it's very easy to be eliminated by basically everybody. It's going to be too big, too small, wrong area, wrong price, doesn't look appealing, whatever the reason, they're going to disqualify the individual property. So the idea is the photographs really grab attention, but then they eliminate the property. So the idea is while they're there, let's also mix in with those properties some universal offers that they can't eliminate as easily. So if you're looking for a first-time homebuyer property and there's an ad that says renters, stop paying your landlord's mortgage, here's a free report that reveals how easy it is to buy your home. I wouldn't recommend that, by the way. Instead of that, I would offer a free list of first-time buyer properties that carry for less than rent. If they're looking for a property, offer properties. Just as an aside there. At the very top, right, first-time buyers, why rent when you can own? Free list with pictures of homes available under $1,300 a month. That's what I'm talking about. You can't eliminate that. If you're a first-time buyer looking for a first-time buyer property, this includes all of the properties available under $1,300 a month. So it's difficult for the buyer to eliminate it. Now, that ad may not have got them to the page. The pictures of the properties did, but that's what actually got them to respond. So having these different offers within the ad is a really good idea. And I think what you're going to find is this: offering lists of different kinds of properties is most attractive. So you've got a divorce report, an empty nesters report, the renters report, and it's good to test those different things. But I think what you're going to find you're going to have the best traction with are offering properties like you have in the top right, the first-time buyers, offering a list of homes under $1,300. You could also offer a list of homes with pools. You could offer a list of gated community homes. You could offer a free list of homes on large lots, right? So consider what is it that prospects are looking for, and lists of homes like that, or in areas like that, or in price ranges like that. And you'll find that although they may disqualify the individual properties, it's a lot harder for them to disqualify the universal offers, so they won't.
So Harry typed in, is the page too busy?
I don't think so.
I'll tell you what would make it look less busy is if the headline was larger than the copy, that would make it look less busy, because what it would do is it would differentiate the headline from the rest of the ad. If you look at Craig's examples of his what we call property USP ads, where you're advertising property and promoting a USP, the headline is always large and separated from the ad, and that gives it a more of an organized look to it.
Well, I
feel like as soon as my eyeball hit this,
I would take Remax off the top and put that at the bottom. It makes room for your headline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like why do we need Remax Professionals at the top? Remember, your headline is the ad for the ad. If the headline doesn't stop the prospect and compel them to read the ad, then it doesn't matter what the rest of the ad looks like. So that's why the headline is so important. So you could take Remax Professionals. I suggested the phone number should be next to your picture, Harry, but take Remax Professionals, put it down at the bottom where you've got MLS and all that stuff. Put it down there. That would give you some more space to make that headline bigger. You could even have your picture at the top and the headline to the right of it. Andrea, do you have any, can you quickly go to any examples of my ads?
I'm actually pulling up the guaranteed sale manual right now and going through it to see if I can find something that'll work to show.
Yeah, there should be a bunch of my display ads with a big bold headline that really stands out. Okay, that's a double page, so yeah, that's the left side. Try to find a single page. That's the other side of it. Okay, there's one.
Yeah, we have just a little bit of a delay, so I'll give it a second to pull all the way up. You want me to keep on scrolling down?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Every agent will promise to sell your home. Craig guarantees it.
Now see how the headline is differentiated from the ad because of the size. It's nowhere near the same size as the rest of the copy, and that really does differentiate it. Whereas with Harry's, it's too close. So it makes it look disorganized to the eye.
All right, let's move on to the next ad.
And this is a Craigslist
Lisa
ad.
Nash is asking. Yeah, Lisa Nash is asking a question. If I used one of the classified ads, such as a first-time buyer ad on a postcard, what do you suggest putting on the other side of the postcard? Well, unless I'm going to an area where they're renting, like an apartment building where they're renting, an area where I know they're renting, I probably wouldn't limit it just to first-time buyers, unless you know you're going to an area of just first-time buyers. So I might offer, VIP buyer access, get information before even some real estate agents get information. Our list includes, and talk about all the great properties, difficult to find properties, pre-MLS listings, bank foreclosures, distress sales, homes that have recently been reduced, homes that have expired off the market. Because you cast a wider net if you're talking to all the buyers. If you are going to talk only to first-time buyers, then the first-time message is appropriate. So I guess that's the question, Lisa, is if you're targeting first-time buyers with the message, is this message going to be delivered specifically to first-time buyers? All right, James, I'll let you critique ad 6.
Okay, so this is an ad that ran on, it looks like this is Craigslist. Is that right, Andrea?
That is correct.
Is there any information about the ad here? Nothing?
Yes, and like normal, when we see these Craigslist ads, 0 responses.
Yeah. Well, it's tough. I mean, the problem with a lot of these Craigslist ads is twofold. One is that you have to give information about a specific property, thus eliminating the overwhelming majority of the prospects. Like, if 10 buyers see this ad, they have to want $310,000. And if they do want $310,000, they have to want 3-bedroom and 1,600 square feet. If they're looking for anything other than that, they eliminate and move on. Now, that teamed with the fact that when you run it out on Craigslist, very quickly the ad disappears off the first page and becomes far less visible. All of a sudden, it becomes really, really difficult to yield any kind of meaningful response using this medium. You're advertising a specific property, so it has extremely limited appeal, and the ad is only visible for a very brief period of time before it falls off the first page and nobody sees it anymore. So this is why I'm not saying that you can't test Craigslist, and in certain marketplaces, if you're diligent and you're constantly posting ads, you can get some leads from it. But really, you'd be better putting your effort into other online sources like Google pay-per-click and Facebook ads and other websites where prospects are going to look specifically for homes for sale if you're going to advertise a home for sale. The only other thing you could do here is I would recommend this. Do not describe the home by giving those details in the headline. In other words, take away the price and the bedrooms and the square footage. You don't have to include that in the headline. Craigslist does not make you do that. But by doing that, you're eliminating any possibility that someone's going to click on the ad because they're disqualifying the property based on that information. So if it just said this, extensively remodeled North River Shores, CBS waterfront park boat ramp. If it just said that, didn't talk about the price and the bedrooms, just leave it blank, then at least prospects wouldn't eliminate it based on the price and the bedrooms and the square footage. They would at least have to click on the ad, and in the ad you can make a universal offer and ask them to call into your hotline. See, that's another thing with Craigslist is you can't use a clickable link to make it easy for the prospect to get more information. They have to call a phone number, so we would recommend that you use your hotline in that case to offer 24-hour recorded info. But as I said, this is not exactly your very best bet for lead generation, and I see that you've discovered that as well. All right.
Where does it rank in comparison to golf scorecards?
Higher. Definitely a better opportunity, because I will say this, at least prospects are going to Craigslist under homes for sale looking for homes for sale. So the eyeballs that see this ad are actual prospects. But anybody that happens to come across your ad on the golf scorecard, they've done nothing to indicate any kind of motivation to buy or sell real estate whatsoever. So yes, that goes right to the very, very bottom of the list.
Okay, let's get through the ads that were submitted, and then what I'd like to do today is I'd like to go to the Craig Proctor coaching site, the system site, and I'd like to show you things to do. How about that? I'll give you some suggestions on what to do. Let's look at ad number 7, James, another Facebook ad.
Okay, and now the first thing that we look at is who's this from? It's coming from Martin County Homes, which is great information source, and they've got a picture of a typical property in Martin County, so that's not an eliminator. The offer may be a little too wordy. It says, is selling a home in Martin County a project that you're considering? And yours spelt wrong. It's you are considering, so apostrophe RE, considering for 2016. Find out what that is spelled correctly, Martin County home is really worth. Free quick online home evaluation. Go to martincountyhomepricing.com. I think maybe you should just jump to the offer. It should say simply, find out what your Martin County home is really worth. Free quick online home evaluation. And then you want to have that offer restated again underneath the image as well. and then you've composed a perfect ad here
So
for Martin County.
Jeff is saying there is actually another version, and he did, after speaking with his coach, take out the first sentence.
Yeah, I just think it's unnecessarily wordy.
Yep.
When you can just jump right to the stake. And so I'm glad to hear you did that, and I think that would work better. I also think you should have it underneath the ad as well, along with the clickable link of Martin County.
All right, so Jeff is asking, how do I do that? How do I get the text under the picture on a Facebook post?
You call Success Website, because as you've seen from all the examples, you can see that they almost always have it underneath as well. So you know it's doable, but you just need somebody to show you how to do that. And Success Website surely will be able to not only do it for you, but show you how to do it if you're creating your own as well.
Okay, so really what we're talking here is eliminate the first sentence. Just go with find out what your Martin County home is really worth, free quick online home evaluation, and then we've got the domain name, which is really good, although I would capitalize the first word, as we talked about earlier. You know, the M in Martin, C in county, H in home, P in pricing, and then we want to have it down below as well. Very good. Hope that helps, Jeff. Let's go to, I think the final ad is number 8.
That is correct.
Hey, and this is from my friend Ellen and Barry, the Levy team in the DC area. All right, so any notes on this? I know Ellen's in chat here. Ellen, why don't you type in how you're using this? Looks like a postcard. Nothing
I
yet
have
from Ellen.
a few notes, I believe. It says, this is what I did with a templated ad from a site I use. They get the cards printed and mailed very quickly and inexpensively. I tried to insert the CP calls to action within the perimeters of the template.
Sorry, I muted myself. First of all, we want the headline to be bigger. We've got real estate. We've got room to do that. Your home sold guaranteed, or we'll buy it, but there's no call to action at all, not telling me what to do. There's no website to go to. There's no free report on how this guaranteed sale program will work. Remember, the prospect is skeptical of your amazing offer that you'll actually buy their home. So you've got to give the skeptical prospect a non-threatening way to get some information. I mean, they can call you. The number is tiny, tiny, tiny as well. So again, Ellen, I would just go to the ad generator and I would copy right off the template. Copy, copy, copy. All right, let's go to the coaching site, the system site. And James, if you could wave a magic wand, what would you start with?
I would start, what would I start with in terms of any kind of lead generation whatsoever? I would start with online stuff like pay-per-click and Facebook. I would start.
All right, so why don't we click on the
with editorial style ads.
Okay.
Those are the 4 guarantees to generate leads. Those 4: Google pay-per-click, Facebook, direct mail, less branded by the way, and editorial style ads in a local newspaper. If you're doing those 4 things, you're generating at least 2 or 3 leads on average a day, which is over 1,000 a year. That's plenty to choose from. Then all we have to do is get really good at lead conversion, and we're off to the races.
All right, well, slow down. Let's back up the bus.
I can't.
He's so passionate about
I got to get it out. I got to get it out.
He's very passionate. And
I
think
I
he's
forgot golf cards. Forgot the golf cards.
Boy, sarcastic, isn't he?
Okay.
Okay, so let's look at Facebook. Andrea, you and I are not jacked up on Starbucks caffeine.
We are
like
not.
James, so we're gonna slow this down. So show everybody very slowly how to access the Facebook ads.
Okay. Over here under the tools, all these options are going to go down to where it says resources, and Facebook ads is the first option. You just click on it.
And if you click on any of the ads, scroll down. We've got them categorized. Facebook ads that target first-time buyers, that target sellers, that target move-up buyers,
And this
if
is
you
a
click
work
on
in
any of the
progress,
ads,
and we are adding
you can
daily.
enlarge them.
That's right. I'm sorry. I totally talked over you, Craig. I'm also very passionate.
We're like an old married couple now, Andrew.
I know. So this is just an example. You could just click on it, and it gets bigger for your viewing pleasure.
Perfect. Okay, now go to Google. Those are Facebook ads. That's where you find them. Just copy, copy, copy. Go to Google. Here's a whole bunch of Google pay-per-click ads. You can click on any of them and enlarge them. Okay, so easy.
And Success Website does have services that will help you with this. We understand not everybody is computer literate, so they will provide. And just quickly, you can go to our approved vendor page for their contact information.
Nice.
Okay, we'll go back to the dashboard.
Okay, now let's click on James McDonald. He said editorial ads. Let's click on those. Okay, now you can go to the ad generator and see a bunch more of them, but there's the rules.
Yeah, that's very important that you read the rules and tips. That will avoid, right off the bat, that will avoid the typical mistakes that you might make.
Yes, we have rules, so you don't have to make the mistakes that others before you have made. Now let's go to the postcard generator. Let's really make it simple. Of all the postcards that I have, I'm just going to suggest you run this one. Why? Because it's the one that works the best.
Yeah.
And we've made it really easy for you to customize it, and the order will go immediately to my printer, and they'll print them and deliver them to you. So let's customize this for James. James, you're a real estate agent in Carlsbad, California, so you help Andrea fill this in.
I'm not, in fact, but okay. Okay, so there you go.
Well, you're close to Carlsbad, aren't you?
Well done. Look at that. Look, we want 5,000 of them, yes. Now, 5,000 is a good number. By the way, we should talk about that, Craig, is that, if you're going to send out 500 of these,
you can't. We don't allow you.
Honestly, it's not really well, yes, you'd have to.
We don't allow that.
Yeah, you'd have to get them made up yourself.
2,000 is the minimum.
And even then, it really would be a minimum test. 5,000 is a preferable number, and you'd probably find you get a consistent response sending 5,000. But if you said, well, it's either 2,000 or 0, obviously 2,000 is better than 0. All right, so we can hit send order to BXL otherwise. I
never have. I don't know if it'll work.
There's no way to see what the proof looks like? Okay.
Well, click on it.
You want me to try? I can always call him and cancel it if I need to. Oh, no, that's not good. Sorry, we encountered some errors. This is that's awful. I'm sorry. I'll have to contact Adrian.
We get the point.
Okay, so let's find out why that's not working. But that would go right to BXL printers, and they call you to confirm the order and get your credit card, of course, and then these would be shipped to you. Now, this was my #1 postcard after messing around with these messages for years and years and years. This is the best postcard. Couldn't make it work any better. And when you can't make it work any better, you stick with it. And that's exactly what I did for 15 years. Just send it over and over and over again. But, today we have thousands of our members using this exact same postcard. Okay, so that's something that you guys can do. Let's go to the ad generator and let's look at the editorial ads right from the ad generator for a second.
So real quickly before we did that, it worked. I guess I'll be receiving a call from BXL printers. You have to fill in each spot, and then it just says success, and that they will be contacting me. So I will keep you guys updated.
How do they
know
it's you, though? How do they contact you?
Well, the only thing I'm guessing is just because it's coming from my profile on the member site.
Got it.
But if they don't contact me, I'll let you guys know either way what happens next.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to go look at the chat questions here, James, and let's go to the ad clinic, or sorry, the ad generator, and let's look at classified editorial ads, rather. Alexandra says it doesn't have a website on the online an online 800 number. Okay, I think what she's referring to is the online home evaluation does not have an 800 number, because that wouldn't make sense, right? The campaign is for a free online home evaluation of your home. So that is an exception, Alexandra, where we would not have an 800 number, right? You wouldn't offer someone an online home evaluation and then tell them to call a phone number. However, on the flip side, for the area home sales report, we do have both. See, only a domain name here, no 800 number. But if you go to the other side, we've got only an 800 number. So whether they feel more comfortable calling in on a phone or visit a landing page, we've got one side of the postcard for each. Yep, there's a flip side. There's a front and there's a back. Okay, so we'll go to the editorial ads. Now your battle here with your publication, whether you run these online or offline, and they do work better offline. I know many of you think that print advertising doesn't work, and maybe you've even tried print ads before and it's confirmed your thought because it didn't work for you. But you should try these print ads. Why? Because they don't look like ads. Done properly, they look like news. James, you make this point. Is it true that there's way less people reading the newspaper? Yes. But is it also true that some people do still read the newspaper? And of course, the answer is yes to that as well. But we also know there is way less real estate agents advertising in the newspaper. So right. What do we teach you? We teach you, sell in a vacuum. Everybody's on Facebook, Google, everybody's online. Well, that's where our competition is. So that's why I kind of like being offline in a publication. Now, there's no doubt what we're hearing from our members is the leads are of higher quality when they come from print. You can kick that around all you want, but the leads are of higher quality leads when they come from print. When they come from postcards, okay, so direct mail, leads are better. When they come from a print publication, the leads seem to be better. If they're calling you off your branded advertising, if you had a billboard with your name and your picture, that's a good lead. They know they're calling you. So that's the benefit of USP ads. The least qualified prospects usually come from, I don't know, an offer like a list of fixer-uppers or distress sales, where they're sometimes looking for something that's too good to be true. So I don't just look at the number of leads I generate, and a lot of you make that mistake. You'll run a campaign that generates you the most number of leads. That's your focus. What gets me the most number of leads? What I'm interested in is what produces the highest return on investment. So if I run an editorial style ad like the one in front of you right now targeting sellers, if I only even generated 3 leads, but one of those 3 prospects lists their home with me, to me that's way better than a alternate campaign that generated 30 leads and I get 1 transaction. Think about this. Would you rather call 3 prospects to get a listing, or would you rather have to sift through 30 prospects to get a listing? So something you want to done properly. Again, most of you report back, wow, this really does work and they're high quality leads. Now, we're not saying don't use Facebook, don't use Google pay-per-click, don't use Craigslist, but what we are saying is you want to test this as well. Testing this is far better if you're going to go with print than a scorecard on a golf cart. That's all we're saying. We want you to test, but the point James McDonald was making is there's a pecking order to this.
Right.
See, that looks like news. If I'm sitting there reading the local paper and it says, Toronto, and I live in Toronto, and I'm kind of thinking of selling my house, and I see what appears to be a news article that says, which of these costly mistakes will you make when you sell your Toronto home? I'm going to read that. Now look at the column width is perfect. The column width mimics the column width in the newspaper. Here's another good example. 11 critical home inspection traps to be aware of before listing your home for sale. It says here, we find editorial ads here even continue to generate leads for a while after they're published. This has shelf life, right? You'll get leads the day it comes out and maybe even for a couple weeks later, who knows? Okay, let's go to the USP ad generator. Andrea, there she is. We'll take some more chat questions if you folks have any. Elizabeth said, I ordered the postcards. At least I thought I ordered the postcards. It said I would be getting a call, but I have not received a call. I would call them, Elizabeth, because they should be calling you right away. And by the way, if you find that you're not getting phone calls, we better check the system here to make sure that this is working. That's why I asked Andrew, how do they know to call you?
That's right. I'm going to continue with my secret shopping, and if I don't hear from them within the next hour or so, we'll get with Adrian and we'll give them a call. Yes. I should at least get an email confirmation that I've submitted something. So we're looking for as much contact with them as possible to make sure the order is done properly from our side.
Okay, hit the back button there. Let's look at all the choices we have for USPs. Okay, so these are all the different USPs for sellers. So a lot of you are in a really, really super hot market. Okay, so in Toronto right now, if the property is listed correctly, it's going to get multiple offers. I think James, in Aurora, so far in the last 12 months, do you know that over half of the homes that have sold for at or above the full asking price?
That's amazing. So everybody should be using a guarantee in that circumstance where they say, I guarantee to sell your home at 100% of asking price, or I'll pay you the difference.
Yeah, let me go into.
It's very frightening to make that offer.
I'm going to go into the reality program here, and I'll just show everybody what we're talking about. Because there's no question what offer I would be making if I'm marketing in Aurora. Can you flip it over to me for a second, Andrea, please?
You should have it now.
Okay, so I'm on the reality program. So I want to go to city. Okay, and I go to Aurora, just right here on the top line, it tells me in the last 12 months, there's 1,215 sales. Average days on the market are 18.1. So one USP that I'd feel pretty comfortable with is your home sold in less than 30 days, or I'll pay you $1,000, or I'll sell it for free. Or how about this? This is my point here, James. See this 100% here? 661 of the 1,215, let's call that over half, of the homes that have sold in Aurora have sold for 100% or more. In fact, the average list to sales ratio is 103. So if you're just average, you're going to get your seller, if you're just average, you'll get your seller 103% of the asking price. So I do this research first, and I think, okay, well, what's the biggest promise that I can both make and keep? Well, I look at this and I say, days in the market, I know if the condition is the seller has to agree to my list price, then I feel pretty comfortable guaranteeing that the home will be under contract in less than 30 days. I also would feel pretty comfortable saying I guarantee to sell your home for 100% of the asking price or more, or I'll pay you the difference. I feel very comfortable with that because half of them are selling at that anyway, and you got to think half of them are probably overpriced. They've got to list at my price. So this is how you do it. You do the research here first, And then, Andrea, let's go back to, actually, maybe I can go back here. Let's see. Let's see where I am here. Let's go to, I can take everybody here, Andrea. Go back to the ad generator. You just sit back and relax. I got this, Andrea.
Thank you. Awesome.
Pour yourself a glass of wine.
Oh, it's a little early for that, but.
But okay.
No, I told Andrea no wine till 5 o'clock on a Friday. Okay, so here's all of our choices for seller campaigns. So your home sold in X amount of days, or I'll pay you X. So we could do that one, right? But what did we learn in Aurora? We don't need 120 days. We can change that to 30 days. If you don't think $1,000 is a big enough penalty to get your seller's attention, change it to $2,000. If you think it's too much, you can cut that in half to $500. Okay, easy. You don't have to worry about how the ads. It's perfect. Just stick your picture and your name in there. Okay, or how about this one? 100% of your asking price will pay the difference. If you're in a real hot market, this would work. You don't have to change anything. Your home sold for 100% of your asking price, guaranteed, or I'll pay the difference. Okay, easy. And then we've got other guarantees. How about this one here? Move up to any one of my listings and I'll buy your home for cash. This is a great headline, by the way, to run over top of your listings. So that's what Andrea was showing you a few minutes ago, is a full page ad, and I've got maybe 25 or 30 listings below this headline. So somebody looking at any of the homes are a great magnet for eyeballs, right? Some buyers looking at all these properties, 30 listings I have, and they see this above. Wow, move up to any one of these listings, and Craig will buy my home for cash. Okay, let's have a look at a few more. We can do this one if you want to do free. I don't like going straight to free, though. Like, why would I want to risk giving away all my commission when I could just do this one and give away $1,000? So I would start with this one here first. Or our standard guaranteed sale. Your home sold in, well, how much time do you need? Maybe in my market, you only need 30 days. Okay, so that's some homework. Those are some things that you guys can look at over the weekend. Hopefully you've spent a lot of time checking out all the resources on the coaching site. I don't know what just happened there. So we've got first steps, buyer and seller objections, approved vendors. We've got the ad generator, the certificate generator. What is a certificate generator? Whenever you make any of these guarantees, you're going to have your buyer or seller sign off on something, right? Just so they don't come back and say, well, I didn't know it worked that way. So that's where you're going to fill all this information here. So I want to change this to 30 days, remember? Okay, and then you're going to type in your name here, the Craig team. Okay, so this is what you're going to print off, and this is what you're going to hand the seller. So the ad is customized, and the certificate is customized for you. And of course, when you run any of these campaigns, by the way, all the landing pages are done for you. All the hotline recordings are done for you. We really have tried to make it super easy for you guys to just copy. What's interesting, and Andrea and I were talking about this before we got started, is the reluctance not to copy. And I said to Andrea, I think it's because people that get into real estate we're kind of individualists. You know, we want to do it our way. So the hardest thing, hardest part of our job is just trying to get you guys to copy. It's good job security. because that is the hardest part of what we try to do every day in this program, and your coach as well, is just getting you guys to copy what's already been proven to work. Peter's asking me, does sold mean close or in contract? Peter, sold means under contract. Okay, if you feel more comfortable saying that, you could change it to your home under contract in less than 30 days, or I'll pay you $1,000 cash. That's what we're talking about. It's going to be under contract, not closed, but under contract within that amount of time. Alexandra says, I use these certificates all the time. And that's fantastic. We want you all to. It just, you know, here's what happens. James, if you were my seller and I come over and I'm just verbally explaining how this works, and you're interviewing other agents, it's not as strong, right? If I come and I'm writing the rules out on a napkin, not as strong. We want to come prepared with documentation that spells out exactly how the program's going to work, something you can leave with the seller even if you don't get the listing signed that day. Remember, nobody else is doing this. Your competitors might make verbal promises, but you're giving this to your prospects in writing. Irina is asking this. I placed Google pay-per-click distress ad with Success website. We got 267 clicks and 12 people left their information. I was able to speak with 4 of them, and this is all that happened in 2 weeks. Is it a good response to my ad? Well, look, Irina, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, far too many of you are doing what Irina is doing. Like, okay, I've been doing this for 2 weeks. Hopefully, Irina, you've been doing more than just that. Think of it this way. If we were out in the middle of a lake and we had just one fishing line in the water with one bait, I don't know, it's a worm, it's shrimp, whatever it is, we might catch some fish. But what if we had 5 or 6 lines in the water? And what if we were using 5 or 6 different types of bait? In which situation would we have a better chance of catching fish? So right now, you should be testing several things. The point that James was making is, why not test what we have here for you that's been proven to work? So, you know, today, not to be critical, but we've had examples of a handout in a phone directory in a mosque. We've had, you know, advertising on golf carts. But if we can get you just to use the kind of advertising that's been proven to work, and doing it your way, when you veer from this and you start using media that we're not really promoting, hey, we can't say it's not going to work. And we do encourage you to test. But, you know, kind of the idea behind paying for this program would be to leverage off marketing that's been proven to work, not for a year or two, but for decades, and not by 1 or 2 people, but by thousands of people. So that's what I'm going to emphasize today, is spend some time looking at all the different options that you have. There's so many options. I mean, we haven't even talked about classified ads. We talked about USP ads. There's editorial ads. There's postcards. There's Facebook. There's Google Pay. There's so many things that you can just copy that have been proven to work. So that would be my recommendation, is start with that. When you exhaust all of that, then we can talk about doing other things. James, anything you want to add to that?
Well, obviously we've been saying that for a long time, and I know that you know, I run into this all the time. A lot of you are entrepreneurial and pioneering, and so you want to make it your own. And I appreciate why you want to do that, but you know, the rule of thumb, you imitate before you innovate. And you know, it's funny how when we do our panels at the Super Conference and we have our millionaire students up there showing their ads, we go one by one down the row, And what we're looking at are clones of your ads. In other words, when all is said and done, and all of the experimenting has been done, they go back to the original model and they just copy it, and that's what brings the best success to all of those students that are really excelling with the system. So obviously, that's what we recommend.
Just real quickly, if we could remind everybody about our helpline on Monday. We have one. It's going to be at 11 o'clock Eastern. I guess I'm just going to...
That was a big commercial.
That was.
We have one.
We have one. I thought one of you guys are going to take over from there, but we have a helpline as normal on Monday, the 1st of August already. It's 11 o'clock Eastern as always, so get all your questions ready. Anything we might not have gotten to today, just submit those and we'll get to everything. Any and all Craig Proctor system related questions.
Perfect.
Andrea, where on the site can we find the ads in French?
They should be in the file library.
Okay,
Just
George is asking. Yeah, George is asking where to find that. Can you? I have to do it because I have control of this.
Right.
Yeah, you take it back.
I know. I keep on moving my mouse trying to go to the site, and I'm like, it's not working. It's because it's your site. Hold on 1 second. Let me take it back. Okay. Give it a moment to change over. Okay, so you're going to go to Libraries, File Library.
If you can't find something, that's a good place to start, right? Go to the File Library and just type into the search box what you're looking for.
And then I was afraid it was going to happen. There was French material. Here it is. So at the very top, now I'm logged in as a Platinum member, as an Advanced Platinum member, so I'm going to see a lot more than some of our newer members may see, but you should have a tab that says French Material Library, and then everything we have, thanks to Coach Mackay, is translated here.
Francois Mackay.
Francois Mackay. And I hope you're all joining our bi-weekly French, well, not all of you, but if you speak French, we have a bi-monthly, every other Monday, French-spoken helpline clinic that Francois does. So I hope you're joining that.
Okay, Randy Erb is asking, I have an option of running my ad regarding the 7 buyer mistakes. I think he's talking about an editorial ad in the newspaper. And I can have the ad run in a 2-column format for $95 a day or a single column format for $25 a day. What would you suggest I begin with? Well, Randy, I would try to mimic the way the newspaper lays out their editorial. So it depends, if it's going to be in a publication where there's a lot of other 2-column articles, I would do that. If there's one column space and it's going to kind of blend in with the other editorial, as long as it looks, that's the key, as long as it looks like editorial and it's not surrounded by a bunch of ads. What I'm afraid of is if they're going to give you a single column, that it's going to be kind of leftover space on a page that's full of ads. It'll take you a while to get your newspaper people trained. I was talking to Sandy Casello, James, on Tuesday after my half-day seminar in Toronto, and she said she's having a very hard time with her rep at the newspaper. Or the newspaper not wanting to run the ads exactly the way they're supposed to run. And when they do it right, it works. And when they don't, it doesn't work. Alex is saying the same thing. Sandy's just typed in here, matter of fact. Sandy is asking, what were the 2 postcards that you used? I'm on BXL and need to order. Okay, so Sandy, go to the coaching site and you're going to see the postcard generator. Andrea will walk you through that right now, and that's where you ordered from.
That's right. And if you're already working with BXL, you just tell them it's PC35 and PC34 for the front and back.
Yep. And Sandy says thanks. Okay. We're out of time here for today. I hope everyone's had a fantastic week. My recommendation is to check out all the awesome resources we have on the system site here. If you haven't had an opportunity to do that lately, we keep updating things, and try to copy. That's what this is about, right? That's your homework for the weekend. Go on to the system site. Look at all of the things that we recommend. Okay, no more homemade ads, no more obscure media like golf carts and phone directory in the Mosque magazine. Let's focus on media that's been proven to work, and let's focus on messages that have been proven to work. Copy, 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 copy. That's what this is about. Okay, and that's what we hope to do, is to make sure that you guys are really, really good copiers, because then you'll get the right results. So we're going to wrap it up for today. Big thanks to James McDonald and Andrea, as always, for doing a great job. Everybody have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to everybody Monday on the helpline. Take care, and that concludes today's Ad Clinic.
Awesome.